All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome to Blood Talk Nola people. I'm your host P Dot on the spot.
Silent Child 17.
And Chop gonna be in the building sometime later. All right, tonight we covering fraternal organizations and their connection to the church. It's really gonna be just like I guess uh, a brief discussion because we time limited right now, and I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I know we normally have a good, robust discussion about what we're going to be talking about as far as our topics for the night, the evening, or whatever the case may be. So, right now, as it stands, I don't want to hold up and um, get the information out there. We're going to put some stuff up in other news, man. There's a lot going on, people, and I want everybody to be safe.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Oh, check my audio. How's my audio now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound better. It's a little
Okay.
grainy, but yeah, you cool.
Okay. So, what I was saying is before we get started and get into the show, I wanted to know how your week been, bro, so we could get this party rolling.
Nah, it's been pretty good, bro. Been keeping my head down, maintain, ain't really do too much. You know what I'm saying? Besides what I've been doing already, just been doing my little thing. That's all.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, as for me, man, my week been pretty good, man. Been, keeping up with the word, bro. Been doing things that I knew how to do as far as, taking my time doing it at home. Now I'm doing it actually as a job. And it's a little bit more intense when you're doing it as a job because, like, you got to be able to keep up the pace and also be professional with it. But a maintenance tech, yeah, them dudes go through a lot, bro. That working in apartments, uh, that just basic preventative maintenance or stuff like that is not as hard as people would imagine it to be. Um, and it's a pretty fun gig when you're around the right people. As long as if you could keep it peaceful, it's like I say those words. If you could keep it peaceful, those gigs are a great gig for anybody who has some uh, carpentry or technical skills or dealing with electricity or anything like that. It'll be a great startup job for anybody. Even plumbing, like it's just like a lot of basic stuff. It's not nothing intricate. It's not nothing that's really hard. It's just that you got to get in there, pay attention. But other than that, bro, I've learned a lot about what they go through and how they do. And hopefully this will be something that can lead to me being able to be a little bit better with my proficiency in work at home as well. Um, so having said that, man, we both had good weeks. I guess, like I said, we'll hear from Chop a little bit later on. Uh, let's get right to in other news and see what we got for that. And just, keep it going right quick. So, where is that? Where are the other news? Oh, there it is. So let's get into another news.
In other news.
Hey, you want to join my podcast? Go on YouTube, create a user profile, and jump in the comment section. All right, y'all. So, Silent, you got anything for any other news?
Yeah, you got the floor.
All right.
Mine is more like an update, so if you want me to go first,
yeah, do the update first.
It's cool if you had your stuff already locked in. All right.
Well, I got I got some stuff locked in, but it's gonna take up a little second because it's a lot of different video angles that I'm gonna be playing you on. So,
gotcha.
And that's for the stuff that happened today. So, yeah, man.
Gotcha. Tiffany, she's back in the news, bro. The mayor who's been getting in all that trouble we've been keeping up with. Remember the first one was when she got arrested. She was in the back of the police car tripping, calling to I'ma call my people and all that shit. It was a while back. Well, it's been a big fiasco since then. All kind of stuff been going on. So I found a pretty good news clip that keep the people updated for you too. So check this out.
The escalate over the allegations of mismanagement in the south suburbs. Local officials and community members are asking the state to remove Tiffany Henyard from office.
Move comes days after a brawl broke out during a Thornton Township meeting. WGN's Emmy Victor joins us now live with the latest on that. Emmy.
Well, Ray and Micah, this was a packed Zoom call. At least 300 people joined today to discuss Tiffany Henyard. And these are people who say they are tired of her and they were appalled by Tuesday's fight. So they're now calling on the governor and other state officials to remove her from office.
This evening, the fallout continues from a fistfight at a Thornton Township board meeting earlier this week. Hundreds of people joined a Zoom meeting to call on state officials to remove Tiffany Henyard from her 2 elected positions, Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor of the Village of Dolton.
So I plead today, alongside everybody involved, that the governor and the state's attorney give the people what they already said they wanted, and that was for them to step up and remove this so that it doesn't go on another day.
In a call to action letter, the village's Board of Trustees called Tuesday night's fight disgraceful.
All those in favor say aye. You go.
The brawl started after Brown called Henyard an expletive. Henyard and her significant other were among those in the brawl. Henyard's lawyers say she stepped in to break up the fight. Since taking office in 2021, Henyard has been at the center of controversies. WGN Investigates uncovered Henyard and her allies billed more than $100,000 on lavish travel and meals to taxpayers in Dolton. An independent investigation conducted by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot concluded there was a pattern of unchecked spending.
And that's all we've been asking for. Accountability, transparency, doing the right thing.
Some residents say they've had enough, and if Henyard won't resign from her positions, they want the state to force the matter. In June, we asked Governor J.B. Pritzker if that was even possible.
The reality is that there are already 2 pretty significant investigations going on, and so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want 2 concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
Today's Zoom call, participants also discussed voting her out of office if she isn't removed. Henyard is not part of Thornton Township's upcoming election for supervisor. She lost a spot on that ballot in December, but she is rerunning for mayor of Dalton. However, she faces fierce competition. Ray and Micah.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a saga with old Tiff. And the fight in question last night, they say she lost her wig in that bitch. So-called trying to help or get involved or trying to stop it. It was a big old, yeah, bro. And they say she lost her wig too, so she might be suing for that.
I'm kind of glad you actually played that because I wind up finding a video that goes along with it, and the video I found was unless you had that video too. Now I don't know if you had that one, did you? Because there was another video where he was actually talking to the person who got assaulted in this whole ordeal, was actually talking to her about her actions as mayor and the unscrupulous things that she had been doing.
I think I've seen something like that, so I think I know what you're referring to. Yeah.
Okay, wait, let me see, because I think I did save it. I'm gonna go find that one because yeah, that one was the one where I think dude literally was looking into the situation, and it really goes back to what we had been saying about
Pete, you're frying bad, brother. Jumping in and out. Yo, you jumping in and out. Can't hear you.
I got bad connection right now.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Yeah, I was saying I got a bad connection.
No, we know that. We telling you so you can fix whatever you gotta do to fix it. Just fix it because we can't understand what you're saying because of your bad connection.
Come on.
Give yourself a mic check so we could help your audio out.
Yeah, mic check. Testing, mic check.
Just a little bit. It's still frying a little bit, but we catching the first little piece. It starts skipping like right after a couple of words.
I might have to turn my mic on. All right, how's that? Mic check.
You sound a little better.
All right, how's my mic now? That's better?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Okay, yeah, my microphone was up too loud. All right, so I was looking to see if I saved that video. I hope I did. I seen it and I thought I seen it before I honestly did it. Nope. Oh man, I don't have it. don't have it. Oh well.
It's cool. We
You had another video.
do it another time. Whatever. No,
Yeah.
that's what I had for. I was like I said, that was just an update for you, everybody who just in case. I told people I was gonna keep up with it. So yeah, it's been a lot of stuff been going on with it, bro. They had a couple of town meetings. In the town meetings, the people were discussing their situation, the money situation that was going on. Stuff was supposed to be going to other things that they get put in place. She fed them a lot of things that was supposed to be happening, but coming to find out, she was doing this, she was doing that. Remember the stuff with the lady with the house she was renting from? She didn't want to leave the house. She was using her authority to say, remember all that? Yeah, so this is the same lady, this is the same stuff with her, and the people are tired, bro. They come into the meetings and they're not agreeing with her no more. It's the dynamic didn't totally change. People are starting to question their thoughts on, people feeding them this boogeyman stuff about, the Trump administration, or just people in general, just opening their eyes to basically what our subject is going to be on, our people using their authorities in the wrong way. And is this a part of something, or do you have to be a part of something, or cooperative thing that's going on possibly? Now, is Tiffany a part of a sorority? That would be that's my question. I didn't know if you knew that already, so I didn't want to step on your toes with that. But does that make a difference, or does that tie into what's our segment for tonight? So yeah, that's all I have for
I believe it does make a big difference. Especially if she's in a sorority and she's using her sisters in that particular way, because your sisters may support you in your endeavor. However, you using the fact that you're this sorority sister and they're voting for you, you're basically giving that particular organization a bad rap, because they may not agree with what you're doing, right? But because you're their sister, they're not going to necessarily come to, I'm not going to say come to denounce what you're doing, even though that's what you should do, whether you be right or wrong. If you're doing right, then of course they're going to support you. If you're doing wrong, they're supposed to step up and say, hey, sis, look, you got to cut that out. That's what it's supposed to be about, right? So if she is using her support of the sorority in that manner, then she would be, like I said, giving the sorority a bad rap. And that would give people who are not into fraternal life or sorority life a bad taste in their mouth about these particular organizations, whether they be doing good in the community or not. Because if you got people like her up there cutting up and doing what she's doing and using the sorority support to gain the popularity in the vote, then 9 times out of 10 people are going to start being a little more apprehensive about who they choose to vote for, which means, like you said a while back, and like, after I thought about it, I started telling people about the same thing too. We got to start looking into the backgrounds of the people that are running for office. Wikipedia tells you pretty much anything you need to know about anybody that names pop up in, whether it be social media, political office, judicial system, what have you. Like, you can literally find out anything you want. So just knowing that makes it a little bit easier for people to decide who to trust, right? And if you don't know who to trust, if you're tired of a certain situation and you want to offset the balance, right? You could I guess they write in the name of the people that you want to vote for. And that'll cause great enough confusion where nobody gets to sit in the office. You know, that means somebody who was second in command that didn't have the power to make the decisions now has the power to make the decisions and actually do something the right way versus, well, me and all my people gonna take this $100,000 trip to mismanage city money, or because I am the mayor, I also maintain power over this, which gives me power to do this. Like, she understood the game she was playing, but then you played the game and was feeding your way through at the same time, even though you didn't have to. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have to do none of that. You could have just did stuff the right way, and people would have supported you no matter which way it came out. You was already making good money. So it's not like you was hurting for nothing. You know? So, you know, that's that part. I got the video set up and I wanna go ahead and get started with this one quick. Check this out, y'all. Now, I don't know who, I'm gonna say that this video was sent to me, right? And this is Comic-Con I love. Okay, Comic-Con.
Shout out, DD.
I don't know how to say that. But this is a video that was posted online, and it was sent to me by my wife. And this is the images and the video of the Black Hawk helicopter and American Airlines. So
Comic Lonnie Love. That's Lonnie Love, yo. Yeah, I know Lonnie Love.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
Lonnie
Comic Lonnie Love.
I'm sorry, love. I couldn't say it right because it's all together.
You seen on some stuff?
Sorry about that.
I think that's the lady that played in Soul Plane. Was at the check-in
with Kevin Hart,
with her and Monique. Yeah.
Yeah.
When her and Monique was ribbing Kevin Hart. Yeah, I think that's her. Yeah, I think that's her.
Sorry about that. But she's, I guess, the person that posted this. So I want y'all to check this video out, and then my overanalyzing head will give you a breakdown of why I think this is something that's more than what was told. So check this out. So there's no audio to this one. The person that was recording it earlier, they had an audio to it. I don't know why the audio is out. So that's the first one, right? Now, like I said, my overanalyzing is, if you sit and look at this video, first of all, why was there a Black Hawk helicopter flying in an airport where planes are coming in for land? Right? That's number one. Why was nobody responding to radio dispatch or watchtower dispatch saying, hey, there's a plane getting ready to land, you're in the middle of the runway, you need to get out of the way? Why weren't they communicating with the plane? Right? Because there's no way you're going to tell me as a pilot, you're getting ready to land, and you tell me you don't see this fucking helicopter with the flashing lights, and the lights are on the helicopter now, flying into your path. Right? So that's the first two questions I have. The third question I have is, do you believe that there's something more than what's being told to us? An American Airlines flight with only 60 passengers on it, right? Only 60. I've never heard of a flight having less than 150 people. 60. And then who would have 60 people? You know, I know we don't have that information right now, but how important were these 60 people? And then if not that, what was a Black Hawk helicopter doing at a major airport? And who were the passengers on board of that Black Hawk helicopter? And why was it flying near the freaking runway? Like, that helicopter didn't even have to go near the runway. It could have just took off, went straight up, and went in the whole opposite direction of the runway of the airport, right? And then we have today. So let me get out of this right quick and go over here. Like, dude, this is like beyond. And when I say I have been finding this, not just a Pan American. I'm gathering that this is the flight path of that Black Hawk helicopter, right? Because it's saying DC Black Hawk Pac-Man flight path, right? They're showing us a video of the flight path of the Black Hawk helicopter. Why is it flying in this area around the airport? So check this out. So it almost had a near crash, right? It's flying in a river. Second near crash. All of those planes are flying in a river to either take off from the airport or land at the airport. So it nearly missed 3 planes and it collided with the 4th one at the airport as the plane was getting ready to land. So I'm gathering this is where this is where the airport is, and this is where the plane was going, this was landing. Why was it flying around the flight path of all of these different points? If that makes sense, you know, why was it in the flight path? All those planes are taking off. So, is there something going on with our military where people are, again, I'll say again, it is possible that we're dealing with a Manchurian candidate situation and these guys are being triggered and programmed into doing things that they normally wouldn't do. But then, even after all of that, check this out. I was trying to see what plane that was. I was trying to see was it American Airlines or Delta or whatever like that. That's a pretty big plane. And it said a plane was crash landing in Miami International Airport. It's just for public awareness. The Red Air, so it's something by Red Air Civilian Transport Airport Flight 203 made an emergency landing. About 140 people and 11 crew members were on board. That goes back to what I said earlier about that plane having only 60 passengers on, right? I've never seen a passenger plane as far as like American Airlines, Delta, Southwest, even Spirit. Never seen anything less than 150 people. And then there was this one again today.
A fucking plane just crashed on Cotman Avenue, yo. I was right there, bro. What the fuck? Yo, somebody crit. Oh my god, yo, the world, yo. What the fuck? A fucking plane just.
Nah, with that one, this is the same plane crash, but look at what happened.
What exploded? What exploded? I don't know. What the fuck happened? There's 2 cars burned.
Wait, there's more, right? I think this is it. Here we go. This is the one that show you the different angles of the plane. Over here. There's gonna be one where you're gonna see it shoot down like a missile, like he intentionally tried to crash that thing. All of these ring bell cameras caught this, y'all. Right there.
Avião?
Meu Deus, quase que a nossa casa pegou fogo. Ai, meu Deus.
2 people were on board. What, they was bringing the plane somewhere?
Don't know.
It said 2 people were on board. The plane was en route.
Right. And they, guess what? They said
so they was bringing the plane to the airport. Okay, supposedly. Gotcha.
Nah, the other part about that was they said that the people in the cockpit were not responding to the watchtower.
Yeah, 30 minutes in, Pete.
So look at it. That's the person that was on the plane walking out of the rubble. Either that or he was nearby when that plane crashed and he's stunned because his shit is on fire. Like, he's on fire walking away from that crash.
Second aviation disaster in a week. A plane has crashed in Northeast Philly near Cotman and Brusselton Ave. Witnesses report multiple cars on fire, loud explosion, and debris.
Scattered across the area just days after the DC mid-air collision. Another tragedy unfolds in the United States. The big question is, are these isolated incidents or a sign of deeper aviation concerns?
Because my next thing is this: how many people? How many people? Actually, was in the accident. Did they give any numbers yet of casualties?
No. Other than the 2 people that was on board that last.
Other than the 2. Okay. Cool.
And so I think that one was yesterday, and then the DC one was the day before that. So it's like, come on now, we gotta figure out what's the problem here? First, the Black Hawk helicopter, and a lot of people came with some good. What's up, Cobb? What's
Top
up,
season.
Sorry, I forgot to holler at dog. But a lot of people are saying that it has something to do with the something about some war that happened between the American and Indians and stuff like that back in the 1800s, because it was something about a hawk versus an eagle, and but that's that part. So yeah, as far as the aviation concern, this is very troubling, and it does need to be brought to light. And mind you, we are only in our second or third week of going into the third week of Donald Trump being president, right? Because he got inaugurated on the 21st, something like that. So it's either the first week or going into the second week going into the third week. But we definitely need answers. And I don't think that this is all isolated incidents, considering one plane had 60 people, another plane had 2, and then the one that crash landed in Miami had 140 plus 11 crew members. Like, I don't think these are just isolated incidents, because you can't have this many planes and plane crashes in a 1 week span, and they say, well, we're going to continue to allow flights to fly around and this and that. Like, I think all air traffic should be put on hold, and you find alternative measures to getting the people from point A to point B at this point, because this almost seems like these are planned incidents, right? One behind the other behind the other. So yeah, I would definitely say that there is some deeper concerns. I'm not going to say it's about the actual airplane itself, because each time one of these, the only one that
could be
that had a real emergency, and
it's a bunch of things. Oh, just agreeing with you. It could be a couple of things. You can't just rule out one thing. So.
Right. And I was saying that the only one that really did communicate with the watchtower was the one that crash landed in Miami. There were no deaths. The plane didn't go up in the fireball. It did catch fire, but it didn't have too much of an issue to say that it was a crash. So
let's get to it, player. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We working.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get into our topic for the evening. And we can get ready to we only got, I don't even know how much time left, but
y'all in the building, hit that like button right quick, man. Slap that motherfucker right quick. Round, hit that shit, man. That shit look like a dumbass thumb. Hit that motherfucker, man.
So
do that for a nigga right quick.
I want to go
subscribe, subscribe. If you have
as the title says, we talking about fraternal organization.
Probably enter
this is pretty much going to be a quick one. I have a video lined up, and I'm not going to play the whole video because I have timelines already set. Matter of fact, let me pull up my notes right quick, because the notes that I have give me my timeline. So bear with me. Alright, so I got my notes pulled up, and I'm going to let this play for a second, because I don't want to get the other person's commentary, because our commentary is commentary we talk about. going to be an ad.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Hit the button. There we go.
But in America now, there are over 2,000 different religions. And we've got to guard against Israel got judged tremendously because they allowed them to bring all kinds of different religions into Israel, into Judah, even into the temple. They had erected gods, altars to false gods in Solomon's temple. No wonder the temple was burnt to the ground. And they're trying to bring gods and false gods and things into the church now. The Masons have no place in the church. If you read the book of Freemasonry, Freemasonry doesn't mention the God of the Bible at all. The name of the God that's in Freemasonry is not the God of the Bible. So why do these Masons have such a good grip in so many churches?
There's this thing that...
All right. So that part right there, the first 15, 7 seconds, right? I can't say for sure that the Freemason book doesn't mention anything of the Bible, right? Or God, or any religious aspect of that nature. But it does pose.
No, he said it's not based off of it. He didn't say it doesn't have anything of the Bible. He said it's not based off of any, principle type stuff. You might want replay that.
Wait, what did you say, brother?
You can hear me? You're breaking up too.
Okay, wait. Yeah, one more time.
Yeah, play it one more time.
So, you saying play it one more time?
Yeah, play it one more time, because I was saying that he didn't necessarily say that. He was saying that it wasn't really based off it, but I wanted you to hear him say it again.
Gotcha.
But in America now, there are over 2,000 different religions. And we've got to guard against Israel got judged tremendously because they allowed them to bring all kinds of different religions into Israel, into Judah, even into the temple. They had erected gods, altars to false gods in Solomon's temple. No wonder the temple was burnt to the ground. And they're trying to...
Now look, I want to say this. I know of the Bible and this particular section in which he was talking about. The temple in which got burned to the ground was Solomon's temple, right? And the temple got destroyed because Solomon went against God's wishes and married someone that God told Solomon not to marry, right? He didn't burn down the temple that Solomon had built for him. Now, he did destroy the first one because Solomon built his temple better than the temple he built for Christ. If I'm remembering that story right, that is why the temple that Solomon built for God was destroyed. It wasn't because of Solomon allowing other people into his temple. It was the temple that he built for God that got destroyed because he built his temple better than and bigger than the temple he built for God. Now, if I'm remembering that right, anybody in the comments, if you know the story of the Bible of Solomon building the temple for Christ, and then the building of Solomon's temple, you can correct me on that in the comments and let me know if I'm right or wrong. But even if that was the case, that Solomon's temple got burnt to the ground, that would really have nothing to do with what was happening with the temple that he built for God, right? Now, what Solomon allowed to happen in his temple, that's something different, and God may have punished him for allowing sacrilegious things to happen in his temple, you know, but that was all up to Solomon at that point. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the temple he built for God. So that's my understanding of that. Now, I want to get back to what you were saying about the Freemasons. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this right quick.
Trying to bring gods and false gods and things into the church now. The Masons have no place in the church. If you read the book of Freemasonry, Freemasonry doesn't mention the God of the Bible at all. The name of the God that's in Freemasonry is not the God of the Bible. So why do these Masons have such a good grip in so many churches?
There's this thing.
All right.
That's the book that I was referring to.
Right. Right. So, and what I think a lot of people and would be looking at is the fact that, and I know a lot of Freemasons, bro, and a lot of them that weren't religious in their younger days got religious in their older days, but in their younger days they were Freemasons. And I know of Freemasons right now that still go to church and they worship the one true and living God, right? I look at the Mason organization like it's an organization, it's a fraternal brotherhood. It is I guess you could say a business, so to speak. And this is how we say we have to look for the signs and symbols of certain things about the predators of the world, the different little Easter eggs that we see being dropped in movies and stuff like that. I believe that the Freemasons use those same practices and practices of signs and symbol allegory. It's like metaphorical speaking to make you think about things, right? So just how they say Christ spoke in how they say that Christ spoke in parables and everything that he talked about was to teach you a lesson, the miracles that he performed. I have not heard not one person that's a Freemasonry say that they performed any miracles like Christ did. I don't see him acting holier than thou. But for those that do go to church and do what they're supposed to do honorably in the eyesight of God, I don't see that there's a big problem with that. But he does pose a good question as to why do you see a lot of Freemasons in church, just like we did that episode where the Freemasons were consecrating the church. I think that they only do stuff like that when they had something to do with the actual building of the church, if that makes any sense. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, they're supposed to be a charitable organization. And if you need assistance, right, you can go to them and ask them for their assistance, and they can assist you any way that they can. That doesn't necessarily mean make them bad people, right? So that's what I was looking at with that. But I don't see, unless there's a deeper connection somewhere biblically, that we would be missing, because he wouldn't be talking about Solomon and Christ, right, if it didn't have something to do with Freemasonry way back then. You see what I'm saying? And remember, Solomon was the son of David, and David was one of the people who God put on certain tasks and missions and stuff like that. So what are we really looking at here? Or, you know, how can we say one without talking about the other, if that makes sense?
God damn, Pete. You need some water or something? Your mouth should be on fire. Brother, it took you a long time to say all. Can we get back to the? I hear you, brother. But it's taking you a little minute. You know we time restricted, brother. I hear you though. I get what you're saying. It's definitely a lot of questioning, but you got to get to your point, brother.
Right.
You got to get to your point. Right. Let's roll.
Okay. Did you have anything you want to say about that before I move to the next?
You said, Pete. You just said it. You just said everything. You gotta move on. Be time constricted. That's why I'm telling you, because you probably got something else to show me too. So that's what I'm saying. Just try to.
Are you ready?
Get to your point. If I say a little something, I'm
your
gonna say
competitors
something.
will wish they had known about Vibe.
Gotcha. All right. So this next one, this next set of minutes is Pastor talking about.
But that's about all it's gone. And almost everybody has a story where, like, yeah, my grandfather, my uncle, or my dad, or family member of this, or used to be in it, or still is in it, or whatever, and they just think it's a good old boys club. No, it's not. It's in the cult secret society, and this is what we expelled. And part of it too is it's not just in the world; it's in the church. And I bring up examples again of not just experiencing occult behavior in the church, but Freemasonry. In fact, this was my very first senior pastorate and my very first encounter with Freemasonry. And what it was, I was 4 weeks in, and I was just doing a basic polemic study at that time on Sunday on the uniqueness of Christ and the cross, right? As opposed to other religions on the planet. Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, even, Jehovah's Witnesses, some of the pseudo-Christian cults. And, nothing really deep dive, just showing the uniqueness that...
I want to put it right here. Mind you, I did not hear him mention Catholicism. Just putting that out there.
Christianity is unique, right? All other religions say that you are God, you got to become God, you got to work your way to God.
Umbrella, if
None
you
of
really
them have
think
a cross,
about it.
right?
It will go under the umbrella of Christianity. So I think he was just giving a few examples in the midst of putting it into Christianity. So. Yeah, because Catholics, they go by that moniker as well.
Right. But if you mention all of the other isms, you still got to talk about Catholicism.
That wasn't even all of them, P. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Looking for arguments now. Press play there. He didn't name all of them. He just named a few. Let's stop it.
Right. Christianity is unique. I kid you not. So I get done with that sermon. And the next thing you know, I get a phone call from one of the pillars of the church, their wives, and said that, quote, he, so-and-so, was upset with what I preached on. I says, well, why? What was unbiblical about it? And went on and said, well, I think you just need to meet with him. So I drove out to his house, and he was a big guy. And he looked down on me the whole time. And he's like a 6'6" big old dude. And and he said, well, I don't think you should be talking about other religions like that. I said, well, why not? Well, I just don't think it's right. You shouldn't do that. I said, well, wait a second. If in fact Jesus is the only way, I didn't say he did. John 14:6, he's the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. That means every other path out there is a false path. And it's not a small issue. It's not just, they didn't make it to heaven. No, the Bible's clear. If you don't go through Jesus, you go to hell. So how am I a loving Christian, Mr. So-and-so, if I don't tell people that all other paths are false that will lead you to hell, and if I don't share them the good news that it is through Jesus Christ, and you can know for sure that you're on your way to heaven through him? And he just went round and round. Of course, I'm dealing with it biblically, right? And he went round and round. And so he was getting nowhere. And so I kid you not, John, he looked down at me and he said, and he pointed his finger in my face. He says, listen, I've seen a lot of you come and a lot of you go. Turns out the guy's a Freemason in the church. I don't think he was the only one. And a pillar in the church, basically running the church behind the scenes. And the reason why he rejected that is because this is one of the many, many false, unbiblical teachings of Freemasonry that people need to wake up to. They believe in a pluralistic deity. They believe in universalism, that all paths will eventually get you. They don't call it heaven, they call it to the Grand Lodge in the sky. It's a works-based false gospel. No different than trying to earn your way to heaven as a Mormon or Jehovah's Witnesses or all those other classic ones that we say, oh yeah, that's obviously works-based false gospel. Freemasonry is the same way. That you have to be a good Mason. You have to follow the teachings of Masonry and do good things. All these guys, you think about Shriner hospitals and all that stuff. You think, oh, these are so altruistic. No, they're doing that because they believe they have to do these good deeds in order to get to the Grand Lodge above.
You didn't have to pause it. I was just throwing that word in there. You didn't have to pause it. I was just saying that for the people. Shriners is a key mark. Shout out to the guy who's presenting this too. I don't know if you know his name or his channel, people. Shout him out too for bringing the info. I wonder what he had to say about some of that.
You want me to let it play?
No, I was just asking once you present whatever you was presenting. I was just asking.
Yeah, because those little timestamps that I had is the ones that I really want to play. Because he basically saying,
do your thing, brother. I was just asking a question. I don't know. Do you think? I was just asking if you heard him. That's all, and what his thought process was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Gods and false gods and things into the church now. The Masons have no place in the church.
Now, this is his thing.
If you read the book of Freemasonry doesn't mention the God of the Bible at all. The name of the God that's in Freemasonry is not the God of the Bible. So why do these Masons have such a good grip in so many churches? Y'all ain't saying anything now. There's not one fraternity, not one sorority that was.
Can you pause that right quick? For him to say, just right quick, Pete. I ain't gonna be long. For him to say that not the same God. Hello.
Yeah, I got it.
Go back to the same God part when he was saying it's not the same God. For him to say that, he has to know. People have to realize this. The people who not catching on to this have to realize that he understands the degrees and he knows past something for him to even be telling y'all this. So what he's saying right now, when he tell you that it's something different, he's talking in degrees, as they would call it in Freemasonry. He's talking Freemasonry talk at the same time talking to y'all because y'all don't know the lingo and the signs and the symbols. So when he said that was one of those marks that he's talking to both parties. He's talking to the general public, and he was also talking to those secret societies who understand the lingo. Go ahead, Pete.
Nah, how this another thing, right? How would you know what's written in the Freemason books, right? That only Freemasons have access to.
If you haven't studied or been, you see what I'm saying? Is when you talk from experience, you understand shit differently than somebody that's on the outside looking in. So people just pay attention to that too, and not in a bad way, in a way for information. It's not a bad or a good way. Just pay attention to the information. That's my point. Why I brought that up. It wasn't to bash him or to make him look like, he's with something or whatever, because this is a statement to make in a big church that you are responsible for as well, sir. So when you talk about these principalities that exist, yeah, there's definitely some stuff to pay, so look at it like that.
Right. My
sorry about that,
is, you wouldn't know, you definitely wouldn't know what's in the Freemason book unless you have been involved in the Freemasons at some point. Because like I said, I know a lot of Freemasons, and a lot of them have not so much as what's the word I'm looking for? They just stopped participating. right? They're still Freemasons by title, but they just stopped participating because they said that you can't serve two masters. And I don't look at what they do as Freemasons, as far as my understanding of, watching the videos and seeing what they talk about. It's just like you're on a job and you have a boss that's over the board of directors, right? And all the people that's under the board of directors have to do what that particular boss says, right? You know, you got the secretary, you got your secretary of treasury, you got your note keeper, you got this, you got that. So all of those people have specific jobs that they're supposed to do, right? So when you report to that person, you're reporting to that person as the head of your board of directors, right? But the name of the people that's supposed to be on that board or names that you wouldn't think they should be called, right? So that's that part, and that's why I say, I just look at it in a different light. Now I understand what he's saying too, because the Masons that I've met that stopped participating in the Freemasonry do so because they've really gotten into religion and understood that God says you cannot serve two masters, that there's only one that you're supposed to be serving, and that is me, right? So I get what they're saying, and it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to think about.
If you read the book of Freemasonry, Freemasonry doesn't mention the God of the Bible at all. The name of the God that's in Freemasonry is not the God of the Bible. So why do these Masons have such a good grip in so many churches? Y'all ain't saying anything now. There's not one fraternity, not one sorority that was started with scriptural permission. You study the history of these things, it's not the cross, it's not Christ. So then why would these things be in the church? And why stay in those things once you meet Jesus? I've said it before, I'll say it again. Paul was in Judaism until he met Jesus. And when he met Jesus, he even left the Jews' religion. And that was the foundation to Christianity.
Attention retirees.
See how the truth,
if you're willing
the
to
truth ain't sweet or salty, P.
Mm-hmm.
He's basing it off of if you believe in Jesus. You hear what he's telling you?
Mm-hmm.
So that's even talking to, no, that's specifically, I meant to say, talking to a certain demographic that do a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Saying these we're doing these contradictional things and making a hub out of the church and doing these things and mixing it and molding it and wrapping it up in this pretty little bow as Christianity. All this is of God. See that? All this shit. You said as long as we in the church is of God. We Christians. That's what he's specifically speaking on. And he's noticing that these organizations are vouching for this shit. They in full throttle. They making money. They participating in all these other paganistic ways and these Greco-Roman activities. You know what I'm saying, Peter? You ever been swallowed? Humpy? You ever been swallowed? Continue, my brother. No. Continue. Don't worry about me. You know I'm stupid. Don't worry about me. I just provoked thought. That's all.
Well, yeah, bro. It kind of threw me through a loop when he was like, and Paul left Judaism. So
exactly. See, it's two truths. You see that? You see how many truths he told and was like, oh, so when you heard that, did you was like, oh, that's how them motherfuckers did it? Did a little piece of you say, oh, that's how them motherfuckers did it? Or it was just me?
No, it wasn't just you. It wasn't just you.
Just a little piece of my conscience was like, oh, that's how So y'all done snuck around in here and took these people from this shit, and then you turned it into this, and you still can't make it right. Holy shit.
Exactly.
Just a little bit, Pete. Just a little bit.
They had a topic a while back. I think we covered that when they were talking about Christ was Jewish, right? He was born in Judea, right?
He had to be. He was a Hebrew. He had no choice.
He was Hebrew, right? But what the people didn't understand
but you say Jewish though is the problem with the people that don't understand how the timeline works, because when you put ish on something, that means you something like. So the people that claims, these things is the people that's like the people that they're saying that they are. So look at it from that perspective. When he said what he said, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that conquering shit been going on. Religion.
That's where I was getting lost at. Like, wait a minute. So if he was Jewish and he was Hebrew,
right?
And this, why did he?
This is the belief,
right?
Right. Yep. This is the belief, and that's what he's telling you. This is the belief of a person who supposedly believes in Jesus. And that's what he's saying. And y'all pulling this into it because this is what I believe in as well. But he's saying that none of this shit happened like y'all doing it. We're not practicing what we were saying we were supposed to be practicing based on our belief. So, and he's not asking no questions. He's telling you they ain't supposed to be in the building, P. Ooh, he's standing on it, P. He say, y'all ain't even supposed to be around this motherfucker. Y'all doing too much. This is a Christian home. What is going? So like I understand, the play.
And looking at his face, he looking at some of them right now in the audience in the pew. Yeah,
if you were Satanist, if you were Satanist, right? Wouldn't you feel some type of way about somebody coming in there with an old white dressed like an angel and shit, talking about, God loves you and all this shit? Talking about, you see what I'm saying? It would be out of pocket, right? But for some reason, the churches are adopting, right, all these different ideologies of belief and gods, and we are all one, and ours is mine and mine is yours. You know what I'm saying? He's having a problem with what's this going on, and I understand, me personally.
Yeah, he does make a good point though. Like, I could see where if he said like, which would kind of set the tone, like, the rules are come as you are, right? But in so as coming as you are, you must.
And remember, look what you just said. That's a rule as well. Not to cut you off, but that's a rule. It's not in the Bible, P. So think about it like that too, how they control shit too. You see what I'm saying? Just because they're using their figure, right? Like we were just talking about Tiff. You're using your mayor status to set rules in place that nobody knew about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does.
Come as you are. Like, that could mean a lot of shit. That's very vague, P. So people could, whatever kind of preacher you got, that motherfucker could use that however he want. Or he could tell you, no, I ain't say that. And he'll tell you the same thing I told you. They ain't in the Bible, and kick your bum ass.
Get your scandally clad dress self up out my church.
Get your motherfucker.
Come in here
what that bum name was, or everybody hates Chris. If y'all in the comments, y'all tell me who that bum name was, or everybody hate Chris.
Bro, you know
the bum or everybody hate Chris. What that nigga name was? Nigga come to church, showed up like him, they kick your ass out. But that man was rich as hell. That's the crazy part. So, the audacity of you, Christian. So it'd be a lot of contradictions with that shit, though.
All right, let him finish off right quick. Come on, Pastor, bring it on home.
Paul said the problem with the Jews is they're trying to hang on to what God was doing. Said, but God now, and the present truth is, he says, they're being ignorant of God's knowledge, of God's righteousness, and have gone about to establish their own righteousness. God did move through Moses, but Christ was the fulfillment of the law. It was all pointed toward Jesus. Amen. Well, I'm right. And this message is not a popular one. But I'm telling you, all of this is part of the spirit of Antichrist. It's weakening. It's weakening our resolve. It's weakening our love for the Lord. I can tell by the way you respond. And I've had people to just turn on me for this. Turn on me all you want to. But when you stand before the Almighty, praise the Lord. See if you can turn on Him. See, because you ain't got to stand before me. I want to stand before God like David was. You know what distinguished David? The Bible teaches that David was a man after God's own heart. Know what that means? David never served but one God. Solomon can't say that. Most of the other kings can't say that. The only God that David served was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God knew that David was loyal. David was not a perfect man. He was a flawed man, but he only served one God.
And that's the problem.
Bam.
What you was referring to earlier, P. So you did a great breakdown of that already. So great point.
So basically, there is no real connection, right? As we have seen, there is no real connection except for the fact that what he's saying is a lot of fraternal members who are members of these churches that hold position in the church, as far as the deacons or the people on the mother's board or the church board of directors, stuff like that. As far as what the non-melanin pastor was talking about, he's saying that's a part of the problem, is that people who are in these specific fraternal and sorority organizations are the people that are basically controlling the church. And our pastor of melanin descent is saying the exact same thing. The only difference is he's saying that at the end of the day, you have to go talk to God about what you were doing, right? As far as these organizations that you decided to join, whether they be of good intent or bad, you still were serving or trying to serve two masters. And that's what they basically looking at as far as the connection into these fraternal organizations in the church. Because if you have a lot of like-minded people in one organization, all agreeing that this is the direction we want this particular church to go, then 9 times out of 10, that is the direction that church is going to go. And that's only because the people that are in the said fraternal organization have the power to move the church into that direction. So, it does speak volumes when you think about it like that. Now, I hope the listeners and the people who get a chance to go back and listen to this on a rebroadcast decipher that particular coded language for the show, because he basically did tell us a lot about Freemasonry. As far as the Black Pastor, he did tell us a lot about Freemasonry just through him having the in-depth knowledge about
coded language, yeah.
Right, sure. The coded language that is used. And the other pastor, I don't know how he found out the other guy was a Freemason or not, but You know, he had a lot of in-depth knowledge, and like you
He
said, that was
white. He white. That's how you found out. They just run their mouth to white people. You know it. Come on, P. You know how. They just tell
right,
them. Yeah.
right.
Thinking he gonna be ready to do it too. Yeah. They don't hold it from them. They see we gotta
They
find
hold it
out.
from us.
These
Right.
yeah, they already know, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, what you got anything you want to add, bro? Cause I don't.
Yeah, bro, I definitely want to add on. You already know, bro. I'm coming right behind you because I'm on your same time. Like I told you, I watched it in its entirety, and I definitely have some stuff that people should, take into consideration. You know, I'm not gonna tell people what to believe and how they supposed to believe and none of that shit. That's not what we here for. We here to bring the information. So people be having their different, views on things. And like the pastor was saying, if this is what you believe in, this is how you're supposed to be rocking. Should nothing be wrong with that. But because something is wrong with that, there is this conversation. There is this gray area that people keep playing with when it comes down to this stuff. And we're trying to feed this black oppression into trying to go with using other people's money that don't have our best interests at heart when it comes to people in general, right? We're not going to even pull that because he just showed a white pastor and a black pastor just now. So I don't want to hear this shit. I'm pretty sure we could find a Chinese and a Mexican that say the goddamn same goddamn thing. So this fraternity thing not only precedes racial lines, you see what I'm saying? It also goes past human being decency when it comes to being in power and making decisions for, like he said, a group of people or an organization of people and how you should be leading them or what is the best thing. If you're going to be telling me that, I'm supposed to be, better than what I am or who I am as a person, this is what I went through and all this shit here. It shouldn't be this low of a tier when it comes to this type of stuff. We shouldn't even want to have this much participation when we got our own. So we've been preaching segregation all this time. Pastor sound like he's saying, bro, y'all doing too much, goddamn. Y'all inviting every goddamn body. What is going on? I know we said segregation, but goddamn. I know we say integration, but goddamn, like we need to be doing a little more segregation. We need to separate some of this shit, and I agree with that to a certain extent because you can't fall for everything. You don't know everybody's intention, so why just let them be there because you are a good person? Y'all heard the old saying, one bad apple spoils the bunch. Instead of taking that apple out of the box, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cast it away.
We decide to rot out, or let's look at it like parasitical shit. You don't live with a parasite. You're supposed to get rid of it. But that's all it's gonna do is spread. Just like disease. Same shit. See what I'm saying? See how these things has this pattern? That's right. This goes with the mind too. This goes with manipulation. This goes with people in power too. They have this same parasitic mindset when it comes to stuff like this, and it has formed a what we would call a hive. Where there's a motherboard. And it's stretched out and has branched into something that has become out of control, and it's a lot of bullshit that has been going on in between that. So not to get too deep into that, Pete, but I want to piggyback off of what you just said well, what the pastor just said, and I want you to check out some of the people who had something to say on that. Basically, from that side, they are in a fraternity, and they go to church. And I want you to hear what they had to say about what Pastor said. And shout out to Pastor too, because that was a great breakdown. Watch this shit, P. Check this out.
The conspiracy theories that had me Googling every damn thing online. With that said, we're diving into some of the most controversial ones that are hot right now on social media. We start with some people's decision to walk away from Greek life and denounce their letters, meaning they were in a fraternity or sorority and said, I'm done. Some say because Greek life goes against their Christianity, meaning some say there are rituals involved in Greek life, and some have called it even, get this, demonic. Check it out.
And here's a red flag, even in the prayer. It says, may the true spirit of the fraternity guide our hearts, guide our thoughts, and control our lives. Like, isn't the Holy Spirit supposed to do that? Like, when I say it's so much misinterpretation of Scripture, so much replacement of Scripture with the fraternity, it's just demonic.
There you heard it. Joining us now to talk about it, Marcus Sullivan, member of Kappa Alpha Psi, Carla Coleman, Butler, member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and Brandon Williams, minister and member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Glad to have you all here on The Factor.
Check them out.
You looked at me like, what the hell did I get myself into? Can I go home? So, Carla, when you hear people talk like this, and you've heard it before.
I've heard it, yes.
And it's been going on for years, but now we're seeing a resurgence of it. When you see people say Greek fraternity, and I think many people think about Greek and they think about the Greek gods and they think about rituals. So is that reality for many of the Greek organizations that are out there?
Watch what she say, y'all. Listen.
So as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and we've been established for 115 years, the founders of the organization, I would think across the Divine Nine organizations, these were students. And classical students in liberal arts education were studying Greek and Latin. And so they adopted the terminology and the words from Greek. Has nothing to do with Greek gods. And so I think there's a misinterpretation if you don't understand our history that these were young people studying classical education and they
That's all they was doing, Pete. They were just studying liberal arts education. Some nigga got together and said, hey, we've been getting taught Greek. And now, you know what we gonna do? We gonna make a fraternity. That's what she said, P. I don't know. That's what she said. It was all about liberal arts. It had nothing to do with no Greek gods, even though the whole basin of the fraternity, making it Greek, is based off of Grecian beliefs, correct? I know you just using the letters because you learned something in liberal arts, but it actually has another meaning to it because they didn't really believe in the Greek gods. They just went with the letters. P, what you think about that?
My mic was on mute. Okay. So I think what she's saying is back in those days, by those students studying the
liberal arts. Liberal arts. Yeah.
Somebody been typing their ass off. I ain't even see that.
Shout out to Chop Track. Just putting something in there for the comment.
Okay, there we go. So thinking about what you just said is like it was a bunch of students that were studying and looking at what she was saying is basically they like what they saw and they replicated the style. You know what I'm saying?
So isn't that a form of right? So isn't that a form of copycat?
Plagiarism? Yeah.
So if I'm copycatting the devil, would you believe I'm a devil worshiper?
Yeah.
This is just
But not
questions.
knowing
This
that
not
you're
the
actually worshiping
whatever
God.
I believe. I
You know
think
what I'm
I'm doing right, P. To the outer world, to the exterior, right? It would be in that realm. That's what I'm saying. So by her saying that, it seems weird that that's what you would start off with instead of, actually telling us what's your beliefs. The first thing you went to is debunking how that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That threw me off. If the dude come on there saying, yeah, they thinking it's devil worshiping. So you're supposed to, I don't know, she was supposed to come in hot with what she believed, like Pastor did, right? Didn't Pastor just show you how if you really on that type of time, I'm basing it off of, what's a segment. So by her saying that, it just kind of threw me off. Now, round, I also got some Steve Coakley lined up for y'all too. I want y'all to check my dog Steve Coakley out too. I don't believe in everything. Rest in peace too as well. I disagree with some things, but a lot of things that he did his own research on and information about a lot of these players in the game, he's spot on with them, and a lot of stuff been going on. So check this out. See, look how this go with it though.
American Summit in Gabon, Africa. And on Saturday at the AMU meeting, the brother brought forth the documentation, and I want to tell you for a fact, when I stood here and told you about Shaft in Africa, it was worse than that. What this brother has shown with the brochure, you'll see the brochure, open it up, Mobile Oil, Chevron, RJR Nabisco, Gillette, Coca-Cola, IBM. Every single page in the brochure of the African American Summit had white corporate leaders, full-page ads, and the only thing that wasn't theirs, because there were about 15 pages of theirs and 2 pages for the brothers, which had the itinerary.
Doing big business with these corporations is a contradiction on your struggle to help black people and all this, right? Because these are the same corporations that you claim is doing these things. So when you have these groups that's telling you, hey, we should go along with this, it doesn't necessarily fit the mold. Check this out.
Is very rooted in Greek and Latin scholar.
And Marcus, do you see this hurting Greek organizations for potential members who say they may join, but they may be from a Christian-based household, and they say this will cause problems in my family with my religion, so I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to approach that.
Well, no, I look at it and I think about how social media has a big impact on things, right?
He blaming social
when
media.
When it comes to a Greek organization, most of them
been
have
going on for
rituals
100 years.
Don't leak out, right? People have their own thing inside. But then when you Google things and you get on social media, you can find anybody that can post anything for clickbait and actually lead you down a rabbit hole that you know nothing about.
And so are there rituals?
In Greek organizations?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so
I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to come back to him. He just said there are rituals. But I thought the lady said they ain't into all that.
I think what
That's
the
just a
lady was
misnomer.
saying was, I think what the lady was saying was they not into, well, publicly saying they not into evil shit. Like, cause I think based on the little thing I had sent in the comments, it's like they tried to say, and based on me talking to people that tried to recruit me into fraternities and shit, or the Masons or whatever, they don't try to tell you, well, they didn't try to tell me what God to serve or what You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for nobody else's experience, but they didn't do that or whatever. They do, but and based on what I looked up too, they let you have that religious freedom or whatever. They don't call themselves. Well, I guess the people that started it or whatever, they don't call themselves religious groups. They are tied into a lot of religious shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's like a contradiction or whatever. I guess that's like what the dude's saying or whatever. Like, you
Right.
know, people could Google
So you could
shit
make,
and you could
yeah,
see
you could
this or
make
you
it
could, you
seem
know.
like, but you have to tie these ties in because y'all go
Yeah.
along with it as well.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's you know, that's all I had seen basically from that or whatever. And
Oh, I have more, Chop. I have
oh
more.
yeah,
You
yeah,
already
yeah.
know,
I
man.
know,
Steve
I know.
Coakley
And
ain't playing with their ass.
I'm not making I'm not
Don't
making
use
no
nothing for use to fuck over the people. We not about that over here. This is
yeah, I'm just, you know, speaking on it as, you know,
for sure.
just like it is because the people that started the shit, I guess that's because that's what it sounds like P Dot's view is coming from the person, the people, I guess like the good Masons, you know what I'm saying? Not the motherfuckers that be doing the shit that, you know, the dude talking about or
We
whatever.
talk
Like
about
basically just trying to get people to understand too that they do have good people that be in the shit too and don't be doing,
exactly,
you know, all that other shit and shit too or
don't
whatever.
know. Yeah.
I don't know, right? I don't know. And you know,
right.
So that's what I've been hearing basically, or whatever, between, you know, the both of y'all dialogue or whatever.
He cut off. Let me go to the next one then. Check this out, y'all. So I'm glad he had that perspective on it because the contradiction is the part that we're kind of pointing on, you know, from the segment. So check this out.
That may emerge within a community that is as conscious as it has ever been in its history in this country, ever. Which means we got strong spout coming. And if you don't carve a spot for the spout, what Reverend Butts is doing at Abyssina Baptist Church out of New York in taking an assignment to attack certain forms of rock music, rap music, and step over Rockefeller, whose office is no more than 20 blocks from his church, is to come out with a faulty prioritization of where our most pressing problems lie. And these things, these false computations, can continue. In that lecture, Attack on Rap.
So this is the problem. Picking and choosing what's your battles, right? When that's your own people versus somebody right down the goddamn block where you could get this whole fraternity together to go protest what the problem is and the situation that you was blaming these people for. So that was a base off this. And the reason why they do this shit is because there has been a plan put in place, fellas, that we have no clue about through these organizations, fraternities, and so forth and so on, secret societies. And people back then wrote books on it. And I'm about to go to this brother that I peeped out too that kind of talked about just the religion part, but it's a whole book. It's called Black Bourgeoisie. Black Bourgeoisie. Shout out to the brother, but I'm just gonna show y'all a quick spot that ties into what P Dot is trying to present to y'all tonight. This is in words, y'all, and this is not only in words. This is he's showing you how they put it into place and why they did these certain things and why these certain people was running these organizations off of this white money that Steve Coakley was telling y'all that was involved. These big companies that we know, Gillette and all the other people that he was naming, these big oil companies and all that shit. Check this out. Remember, Black Bourgeoisie book.
Gone. In the pious atmosphere of this missionary school, the students were found to be listless and without any desire to learn, which makes sense because they came from a culture or they inherited a mindset that did not value education, right? Let's continue. There was some resentment among the students against the system of control, but on the whole, they submitted silently for fear of losing an opportunity to secure an education. They seemed to suffer from an unjustified fear that if they did not exhibit a spirit of cheerful gratitude towards the white Northerners, they would be expelled from the school. The only concession that was made to the Negroes' culture was that the students were required to sing spirituals for the white visitors. But though the school was saturated with religious feeling, the required religious activities were designed to wean them from the religious emotionalism of the Negro. Now, what's the religious emotionalism of the Negro?
Yo? Check him out.
It's the hooting and hollering that many of the black churches still do today. That intense emotionalism to religion that was developed by the blacks during slavery as a means to cope with their environment and to cope with the circumstance that they found themselves in. So these schools were designed to get them to relax a little bit, right? To chill out and not be so emotional when they talk about God or when they pick up a Bible or something, right? Let's continue. The graduates of this college would teach, as this European rightly observes, what little they knew to real Negroes whom they did not know. In the pious environment of the colleges, the students were taught to be industrious and thrifty, wasting neither time nor money. So they were taught to work hard, save money, and not to sit around and become idle. Right?
Ain't
and
nothing
do
wrong
idle
with that,
things.
but there's a purpose
The
to that,
regimen
though,
and discipline
right?
of these
Here we go.
colleges were designed to teach these ideals. Moreover, because of the close association of teachers and students, the students learn by the example set by their teachers as well as by precept. Also, the literary training given by these schools was represented in the habits, enjoyments, and ideals of their teachers. In the industrial schools, the ideal of thrift was tied up with labor. Booker T. Washington has regarded the teaching of the dignity of labor to be one of the primary tasks of industrial education.
So when we talk about the connections, right, with the church and the fraternal orders or secret societies or these organizations, the church is a pillar of getting the word out. It always has, it probably always will be. So in that sense, you could push whatever is your plight or whatever is your thing. You could get these churches, because a lot of these churches have already sold out through the tax deduction. So even if you don't believe in no African shit, right, you probably could still go to the Baptist church, and I'm gonna say even like whatever you believe in, basically, like you probably could pay to use their church. And a lot of times it was used because people was on the same page. It was used to get the word out because the general public used to keep the word from us. The general public can't keep the word from us no more. So now it's our own inside organizations that's trying to keep the word from us, fella. They're making big money now. They're using these platforms that we always knew and loved and used as martyrs to, lift people up as springboards to get their own money and their own gain and their own fame, or their own position of power. And I think a lot of times we skip over that because of the skin color on every side: Mexican, Chinese, white, or black. They all fucking doing it. And you could see it because of the divide of the people. You know what I'm saying? If we had a segregation of belief of how we rock, we could probably integrate if we all understood each other. But I think there is this hold in between, or this gray area, that's stopping the people from really understanding that part of it. So if y'all want to say anything right quick on that, I got like two more, and that's a wrap on me. What do y'all, and I want y'all thoughts on what your boy was saying in the book, because that comes out of the book that I was referring y'all to.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and chat because I'm gonna fuck around and be too long with it.
Nah, I would say this. Um, I would say that I know. I heard Peter say earlier that he haven't seen basically nobody from the Mason shit see they worship the devil or none of that type of shit or whatever. But just based on some certain scriptures and this, that, and the third, it's like if you're not uh, if you're not following God, because they say Jesus or whatever, if you're not following God, then
That's the thing. You can't do that. See,
like
you say Jesus or
people
whatever. Some people get on your ass about that, chat, right now.
that I don't
A
really care,
Freemason
but
Jesus
I
stomper
know.
will get on your ass.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
be
You're up.
I don't be hearing the Freemasons say do certain things. If you know what I'm saying. Like I don't hear them say. I'm not saying they don't have a part in nothing. Just saying that uh I don't see them or like the Freemason spokesman say, like fuck, we doing this type of religious shit. Like I said, when you look it up, they always say that they not a religious group or whatever. You could be from whatever religion you want to be from and be in the shit or whatever. And that alone,
You just can't be an atheist. You can't be atheist and join the
but that alone
Right, yeah.
means that you going against because it's supposed to be one way. So if you're not with the one way, then you with the other fucking way, basically. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like
get what you're saying. It's like basically if you're going to claim that religion, then that religion can't possibly be into this fraternity brotherhood because that religion is saying you're not supposed to be a part of any fraternity or brotherhood. So
right, yeah, you can't.
how do you
They
just
don't.
believe in that? You're supposed to be believing in some other shit if you're gonna be a Mason. It based off
Yeah,
of what Pastor was yeah, based off
yeah,
what
that's what
Pastor
I'm
was saying.
saying
Like,
too. Like that's why I
yeah,
put it
yeah,
in the
right,
group.
right.
Like
I got you. For
they
sure.
call it the supreme being and some type of other
It's
shit. Like
given,
it's
yeah. You
just
don't know who they're giving a name
like
to
I'm like I
if
see.
we
I
all
don't
believe in
know.
something different,
I
right?
don't want miss.
That's why they
Yeah,
say you
your
can be
supreme
whatever
being
religion
could
you
be
want, as
a
long as you
damn tree.
believe in.
What you say, Peter? Man,
Well, that's why
stop
they say
talking,
you
Oh,
can
my
man.
be
You
bad.
with.
talking, bro.
Oh damn.
He can't hear. That's my fault. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that they say you could be whatever religion you wish, as long as you believe in a being that could a higher power, like God or Buddha or Allah but you just cannot be an atheist. You have to believe in God, whether your God be Allah or whether your God be Buddha or Hindu. Like you have to believe in God. That is one of the
But see,
things,
that's
Right.
and
one
they
of the
will
things.
That's
have.
what he just
That's
said.
one of the
Yeah.
things
One of
that
the
drives me
cultural steps.
about all of that type of shit because it's an inclusion thing. Like um,
Mm.
I always go back to small shit like 300, and I would say
Can
that
you be
because
LGBT and in a Freemason? They never talk about that.
I don't
No,
know, but I don't know.
Ooh,
I never
no.
heard.
wee.
I don't know. I
Ooh,
don't know.
you
But
never
what I'm
heard.
saying
I know.
is, what
You
I'm
know why
saying
though, huh?
is,
That's the question.
I don't think that uh I don't think
They
that
allow
people
that. They don't
think
allow that.
about the like shit they be doing and the shit that they be
The
saying.
repercussions,
Not just the
not just
repercussions, but
repercussions.
just what they doing and what they saying. Because people
Okay.
they don't be knowing what they be saying. You can't. That's like for instance, we had the conversation
They do.
before about the gay. You brought the gay people up. That's like the gay people and being in church. Like, what we? That's not even a conversation. It shouldn't
Uh
even be
oh.
a conversation.
Uh oh.
It shouldn't even be a conversation. And that's not me
Uh oh.
saying it. That's the Bible. But what they will do is, hit you with a scripture that might go with what they saying. But you can't do that. You can't
Yep,
say
you can't. Yeah,
you
bro.
can't say, oh
That's
well, God
that's why we
saying,
blunt talk
well,
Nola.
you
Yeah, bro.
gotta love you got God say love everybody. Bitch, God said love the people that do what God said do, motherfucker, not everybody. Because if that's the case, he would have never
It's
destroyed Sodom
your
and
love might be
Gomorrah, right?
different from my love. My love might be killing people,
That's why
and I'm
people
just be
want to
talking that
make
love talk
sure
to you.
that
You see what I'm
they
saying? You don't know what the
separate
fuck I'm talking
the.
about.
And that's another thing too that I was
Huh,
noticing.
P? You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when we talking
That's
love and
another
shit.
thing I was noticing too when I was looking stuff up. Most of the scriptures that you find that people do use come from the New Testament. Like it ain't like no
Yes,
Old
sir.
Testament shit that they used and said that, this,
Some
that,
people
and the
believe that's the
third.
devil. Chop. The old God is the devil. Some people believe that. What you think
He
about that?
didn't I think that people
The
think
old God the devil. Yeah.
they say that because he's strict. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Mm.
going back to my original point was
No, go
the
ahead, bro. I
numbers.
won't stop you.
Like the numbers is the thing. Like and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let P say something. But Douglas never
He
was the
already passed it
biggest.
to you. He thought he was gonna be long.
Douglas wasn't the biggest band. I would say Fauché was bigger than us. Reed, Kennedy, Carl.
Even
It was a
Carl.
bunch of Saint. It was a bunch of schools that was bigger than Douglas. But what Douglas had was some 300 type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Leonidas had 300 soldiers with him, like real niggas. You know, all these niggas is capable of killing at least 20, 30 motherfuckers or 100 motherfuckers a piece type niggas. You know what I'm saying? When we ran up on people, like we was niggas getting sectioned in all store and shit, all, you know what I'm saying? Getting that type of shit. So it's like we still had some of the best players in the fucking city, period. Hands down. Niggas was still coming to Douglas to come see what we had going on, even though we were so small. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think people make the mistake of trying to get everybody on the same page. And when I say
Mm.
that, when I say
Yeah.
everybody, I mean like the whole world, right? I might be able to convince
Right.
two people to do something, and those two people that was able to convince that they could convince me to do something, or I could convince them to do something good. I ain't talking about no evil,
Right. It could be
witchery and
something good, and I
trickery and
think
no
they
dumb
figured
shit
that out.
like that or
Yeah.
whatever.
I
It's
think
just
they
that
figured
we
that out
people
too.
always say let's think about all the inclusion shit that we do. The black thing and the African American name and all this other shit. That's all inclusion shit versus saying, look, I got my people right here. Like the people said at the Council of Nasi, like the Ethiopians said at the Council of Nasi, like just I don't believe that shit. We ain't going with that shit. We going with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But people don't do that. It's whatever the majority say. Cause
Come for
like
the
I said,
entertainment, chap.
if you
It's a
was to
motherfucking
take this,
disease, yeah.
all I'm gonna say is this, and to make people understand it the best way possible. If you take today's world and drop that bitch in 2000, what you think gonna happen?
It'd be a whole shift. It'd be a parallel
But be
fucking
a
world.
whole war out here. The fuck? Them people would be fighting. The Christian, them old Christian people, them church people, them people used to be serious. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. 1990 church
it's
people,
gonna
niggas,
it's gonna
man,
be a
boy,
it's
them
gonna be
fucking
a
people was
religious war out
serious.
this world.
Not saying that they didn't have no gays and shit that slept by and was in the choir and was this, that, and the third. I was still part of in the late 2000s. Well, I would say the late like 2002, 2005, whatever you want to call it, early 2000s. I was part of the era where if they found out you was gay, they kicked your ass out the motherfucking church. You couldn't sing in the choir and
Yeah,
shit unless the
that was
person
in
that
the
was over
'80s
the
too,
choir
bro.
was with that shit. It just is what it is. Like I got stories, like real life stories of people I know I grew up with. I remember one dude, one of my partners I grew up with. He was telling me a story about a dude I went to school with or whatever. He famous and everything. I ain't even say the man name or none of that. But long story short, he was a choir director at his church. So me and my partner was just talking about, like regular partners talking. I was telling him like, dude, he a tambourine player. You know what I'm saying? And nigga was like, huh? I said, son, you don't know? That nigga said no. I said, oh well, fuck it. He might not be it no more. You know what I'm saying? He might not play the tambourine no more. But when the church found out and the pastor found out, dude had to shake the spot. And he very talented. I'm talking about niggas so fucking cold blooded with that shit. It's just you cannot be out there singing for the Lord, my brother. All right, I'm done. My bad. I was long-winded.
No, but you brought up some great points though too, which it definitely segues into, my next video, bro. I mean, cause Steve Coakley, it's a full interview. Like I said, I put the link in the description, people. If y'all want to check out the full lecture. So this is how they rock though, chap. When you have that type of ambition and you just looking at it from that blind side, right? Just thinking these are the right things to do and this is what's supposed to happen because we all in the same boat, allegedly, right?
Right.
This how people do you though, bro. Check this shit out.
Any longer the disrespect that we receive from our own community, who instead of congratulates us for service, identifies us as troublemakers. I told you about being here and speaking at AME Church, there for the black men's group, and having 80 black men there, put about $400 in the hat, and having somebody hand me 120 of that, saying that's all I deserve, and taking the rest and throwing it back in the church with the other $4 million that he gets a year. But the only point is that's all right. They can do those things when the word doesn't go out that you don't hit back, and that's the suggestion that we're not going to allow.
He said a major thing. You don't hit back.
Shout out to Steve motherfucking Coakley. Stop playing with me.
I just asked my daughter that shit, dog. I just asked her that. I said, Jayla, if I shoot somebody because they was messing with you, does that make me a protector or that makes me a gangster? And she said...
She picked the latter.
Oh, of course she gonna say I'm a protector. Why would she say that's gangster?
Oh, I thought she was gonna go with the other kids. Okay. I thought she was gonna say gangster.
Why would you say somebody that protects their family or somebody that's ready to die behind their family?
That's what they want these kids to believe. Yep. That's why I say the latter.
Oh, it's a crash out, boy.
Yeah,
it's a crash out.
It's all on, nigga. It's all on TikTok. Yeah, you crashing out, Chop. Chop, you crashing. That's what they gonna tell you, surely.
I'm crashing out. That's what you're saying. Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. They done got him, Chop. All they did was change the lingo.
I'm saying the same thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying that y'all got to stop. Y'all really put labels on people for nothing because you supposed to, like your family teach you that growing up. And you mean to tell me you gonna let a motherfucker tell you, oh no, that's too strict, boy. You can't be that. Somebody, nigga, I went in a nigga house for stealing one of my little cousin games. His grandma was on the porch. I told his grandma he dude gotta come out the house or I'm going in there and get him. Like, what is we talking about? But they would have called me, the police.
Standing up for what you believe in is now like, a part of, that same moniker. You're right. It has
game.
blended.
He went in that man's house and stole his game, and I went in his house and got it back. What the fuck is we talking about? Like, that's the same thing they be talking about in the First Testament, right? In the Old Testament.
How you my dog though? But Chop, check this out though. and P Dot, you can respond right after I ask Shop this. How you though, as my dog, right? Not only charge me, knowing you making that type of money from this venue anyway. How you charge me for that, knowing that this shit bigger than just, you making money, as if like that little. Let's say I make 5,000 off it. You want the 4, and you gonna give me the 1,000 instead of giving me the 4, knowing that my platform ain't as big as yours. Like, what you feel about that? Like, is that good business, or is that fucked up?
So you saying he got less money because his platform ain't that
No,
big?
No. I'm saying with, okay, my shit is not like your shit, right? You got a church, right?
Right.
Your church make over, like he said, make over 4 something.
4 million.
A year, right?
4 million.
And you know this. So 30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours, Chop, at your church. You see what I'm saying? For whoever want to come that has nothing to do with your church. You see what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it like, hey, we brothers, we in the same thing. You been listening to me. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I like your stuff, and that type of shit. Like, well, let me spread the word at your church, brother. And do you feel like that's an even split, or do you feel like that? You see what I'm saying? He has a point in what his gripe was about us talking about black liberation.
I think that because like when the people come, they do a little collection and shit. I think that's what they do when they have a visiting pastor. They
because he's not doing because he's not doing it in front the congregation either. He's not even talking to his congregation, child. It's like I'm taking like a Saturday where y'all don't have choir rehearsal, and I'm just using your shit as a venue, is what I'm saying. Like, you see what I'm saying? We don't even know how many. 3 people might come, child. So out of them 3 people, 2 might give me 20. You want me to give you, $10 out there for it? Because I use your church. Do you expect that 20, knowing you? I'm saying that 10, knowing that you make that type of money. Yeah, that's all I was asking. Do you think that's like good business, or that's?
I would say this. If it depends on, I don't know, because if we talking business, then we talking business. But if we talking homeboy shit, then that's different.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, now sometimes business might get tied to it, right? Like I'm saying, like you have a venue.
Yeah. Sometimes business.
So I'm using kind of my homeboy privilege or my black privilege to try to get my word out about what's going on with our people. Do you feel like, you see what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you deserve more of the money because you're giving me the venue, or do you feel like your partner?
No. Whatever we discuss, okay. Whatever we discuss, that's it. Like, for me or whatever. I don't know too many of my partners that I feel like that I really consider my partners that would let me do something for free. Like, niggas be telling me, like, a dude just asked me to come on his podcast or whatever. He wanted to interview me and stuff. So I told him, I said, I'm gonna wait till I got a project coming out, and I'm then I'm gonna come fuck with him, do the little interview and shit. But I asked him how much he charged, and the nigga was like, come on, Josh. I don't even remember this man, like, to be real, but he was like, man, come on, Josh, I ain't about to charge you nothing. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we spoke on. That's what it was from jump. That's like, it ain't like no extra shit. So, it's straightforward.
But that's what I'm saying. So what if he backdoor? Right. So what if he backdoor and be like, Well, damn, chop, that was
You
like
could possibly get
couple
into
of.
we could fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? On some
So
shit. I'm just
so they,
being real. Like, it could
no,
possibly
because
turn into that.
I want you to hear, yeah, because I want you to hear
It could
Coakley say it one
possibly
more time,
turn
and
into
then
that
because
because
I think you can't feed me one thing. I think that's the problem too, child, with these,
yeah,
with the churches
no,
and the
you gotta
fraternity.
be
You can't
honest.
feed me one thing and be like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta
brother,
be
because we
honest
down here
and
to step for our
transparent.
people and all this shit, and this man asks you for the venue. And you know it's not gonna be the biggest turnout like your congregation, right? You know you
Right.
make all this money. You know it's not gonna be a big turnout. I'm just using the venue. But you ask, it's like you ask for more as if I owe you more than what you think is more important. I'm gonna say.
I do
Like
understand what
you're
he's
not
saying
worrying
though.
about
I
getting the
do
word out. You just,
right.
as long as you get the little money off it, it's cool. And I ain't think we was on that type of time. It sounded like what Cole is saying. I thought we was about liberating our people. If it was more about liberating our people, why is that a problem? And then once you see it's not making no money, chop, you act like there ain't no spots now and shit.
No, niggas, but see, you know what niggas do? And I think people get
That's
it
why you said about the
misconstrued.
soldier shit. Mm-hmm.
Niggas be forgetting that everybody not about to is, you know what I'm saying? That's like, think about it,
No, I
right?
get
Like,
that, but that's the
he
fucked up
got
part.
his all
That's
right,
why
so
he's saying that.
he got his fucking his real trustworthy motherfucking what you call this
So they say.
yeah, they gonna come. They
So
gonna
they
come to
say.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah,
that one
brother. No, yeah,
grandma.
brother. You could come to my church and
No. I'm
and
talking
preach
about
your
the people
stuff
in
and
the church.
all right.
Like, you know, the people in
Oh,
the
okay.
pew or
Oh,
whatever.
you saying
Like,
he got his loyal? Yeah, he
yeah, he got
got
his
his loyal
loyal followers
followers.
and
Well,
shit,
he know they
and
definitely
he
gonna put
gonna
about
talk to him,
500 a
and he
piece in
like,
that
oh
bit.
yeah. He doing a numbers game. He definitely if like I say if he doing them like that, but in essence, dude, probably that might honestly be the first time that dude probably was able to get that many people together in the space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a I don't know. Like I said, it could
But
go
why
both
look at
ways.
that like as a pastor though, right? Think about what you just said, like knowing that this man finally got a little group together and shit. Like, why would you even think that's an opportunity for you to get money, knowing you making money? You see, it throws me off how people, put their own, selfish ways in front of stuff, especially when the whole
I think
intention was to spread the word about what was going on. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think once a
It's like
nigga see I
it
think
gets
once a nigga
weird.
see they can't benefit from it or something might be a dead end. They gotta
Them
get something
niggas,
out the deal. Fuck,
that
I
nigga
don't
got a
know.
click clack on top, and that's what's leading us down this path of what we talking about, Round. That's
Kind
why
of.
I'm glad you said that, Round.
Yeah,
That's
once
a
shit,
part of the
cause see,
fucked
like I
upness.
said,
P
cause
dot,
niggas
y'all
get
right, huh?
complacent. Niggas get complacent. Like
Nigga P sleep.
what if
Nigga P he sleep. Look at P he sleep. This nigga sleep. Look.
what if what if
Wake up, soldier. I would have got shot in the head.
P you up?
Yeah, we 2 hours in too, fellas. I don't know when they're gonna cut us, but we definitely coming to the part 2 Sunday. Go ahead and finish your points. I got one more left.
Yeah, I just think that people don't think about the shit in its entirety. You know what I'm saying? I think that people's views be swayed certain ways, and like I say,
Ooh, I'm
you
glad you
have to
said that.
know the one thing that religion taught
He
me
be
was
swayed like a motherfucker, child.
knowing thy enemy. Like, you have to know thy enemy. The only way you're gonna know thy enemy is to research the enemy or study the enemy too. You know, people study God and they like, oh, I'm just putting all this God in me. Well, you gotta put in the defense too, bitch. Like, you can't
I
just
like how you put that, though.
the
Putting all
fuck.
this God in me. What
Yeah, like,
God? What you talking about?
fuck is you talking
Hindu?
about? You
Because
got
niggas is doing Hindu shit in these churches now, chap. I say,
so
oh my God.
one of the main reasons I'm
Go ahead,
saying
though.
that shit too
You on the
is
roll.
because nowadays you get crucified for being a man with a gun. It don't matter which is skin color is just you being if you got a gun. You have to be a drug dealer, fucking some stupid shit like that. You can't just be a father taking care of your
You're
children.
fucking
You got a
time.
few
An
guns.
officer,
You
security
know what I'm
guard,
saying? You go
DIA,
hunting and shit.
FBI.
What you need guns for, yo? He's a pretty boy. What the fuck he won't have a gun for? Bitch, because you keep calling me pretty. Fuck, I might need the gun. Fuck. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of ways and shit just stir it up. And now you could basically believe or think whatever the fuck you want. And like Wallow was saying that shit, people gonna vouch for the wrong person now. Like they gonna say you gotta let that person like think of the Lizzo shit, right? Think of Lizzo in 2000.
Ain't no now though.
In the
It
90s
been
and
going
shit.
on. He
Boy,
just
nigga
talking
would've
to them
told
youngsters.
Lizzo, nigga Precious actually had a bad story. It just was a movie. But people wanted her to lose weight.
Yeah,
Still.
speech was a little freer back then.
Oh, speech
If
was
you
definitely
pertaining
way
to
more
that.
freer then. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Lizzo
Look at
wasn't in
DJ
style
Academics.
back then. But
Look at
if you have
Academics.
a good
Y'all seen
personality,
what happened
people
with
will give you a
Academics?
chance.
Y'all seen
Nigga,
what
we gotta definitely talk about that, Chop. I don't know if y'all want to do that next week or this
I
week,
ain't gonna
but
care. We're
you
gonna have
know
some
we
Friday,
gotta definitely
Sunday.
talk about
We're
that
gonna talk
bullshit.
about Academics and we're gonna talk about the RJK shit he said that people don't understand, I would say. Oh, all right, look, I can see that and then move the mic because that's tight, right? So boom. You know, the junior nigga, RFK Jr. came out and was like, we shouldn't be black people shouldn't have the same vaccine schedule as white people. And niggas is mad. Niggas is all man.
See what I'm
Fuck you mean?
saying?
No,
That's
bitch,
what I'm
we
trying
different.
to see.
We is
It's tied
different.
into.
We is not
They don't
the
think so.
same.
Chop, they told them that they not. They told them that we
Son,
all
people
this.
stupid.
They teach
When they said
niggas
that,
have taught
when
them.
I seen that
Look,
shit, I
you
realized
want me to
how
play that Black
stupid.
Bourgeoisie again? Let me play that Black
Man,
Bourgeoisie one more
I
time. Chop, why
realized
you
how
saying that?
stupid you niggas is.
I'm
That's what I
glad you
said.
said that.
When
Chop.
I said that, when I
Look,
seen
y'all.
that shit, I said, man,
Say it one more time, bro, and I'm gonna
these
play it, bro.
niggas is stupid. This some stupid shit.
They want
The
what
man
about the
basically,
vaccine though? Explain the vaccine shit
the
one more
man
time, and I'm gonna
basically
play it, bro.
saying that we don't have to take as many vaccines as they have to take because genetically, a lot of we kick a lot of shit. How many times, son? We got our own little remedies and shit. We don't go to the stores to get fucking healthy. Do we do that? Do we go to the store to get cold remedies and shit? Do we do that? We don't. They might tell you go get your Robitussin.
I like talking about it. Yes, sir.
Fuck.
You right.
Might tell you go get your little Robitussin. That's it. What they get at children. Think about what they get at children. We all us had children.
The Shriners,
them around
Peter. I
children when
told you
they're
that
small.
shit was gonna come back. The
We only give
Shriners.
them what they give them antihistamines and shit. The little Tylenol. Oh, we can get the fever to go down.
Oh, look like he in. Oh, look like he in the casket.
He do. But I'm just saying, fuck. Like he do.
This song's dedicated.
I'm just
for
saying,
my
bro. People
homies.
They don't be being realistic, bro. That's all.
Oh look, I'm gonna show you how really. Look, they is realistic because they think it's real, Chop. You know why? Because they already put it in place. Look, watch what around saying. I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but look, check this out. One more time. I'm glad you said that.
Gone. In the pious atmosphere of this missionary school, the students were found to be listless and without any desire to learn, which makes sense because they came from a culture or they inherited a mindset that did not value education. Right? Let's continue. There was some resentment among the students against the system of control, but on the whole, they submitted silently for fear of losing an opportunity to secure an education. They seemed to suffer from an unjustified fear that if they did not exhibit a spirit of cheerful gratitude towards the white Northerners, they would be expelled from the school. The only concession that was made to the Negro's culture was that the students were required to sing spirituals for the white visitors. But though the school was saturated with religious feeling, the required religious activities were designed to wean them from the religious emotionalism of the Negro. Now, what's the religious emotionalism of the Negro? It's the hooting and hollering that many of the black churches still do today. That intense emotionalism to religion that was developed by the blacks during slavery as a means to cope with their environment and to cope with the circumstance that they found themselves in. So these schools were designed to get them to relax a little bit, right? To chill out and not be so emotional when they talk about God or when they pick up a Bible or something, right? Let's continue.
I hate how niggas explain shit, but okay, sir.
They put it. That's coming out of a book. He just don't know how to talk. That's all.
Yeah, he don't know how to talk.
If
But
you
I'm
look
not,
at it like
I'm not
that,
blaming him.
you don't
I'm
like
not
his
blaming
vernacular.
him.
But that's coming out of a book of somebody that had their own synopsis of, you know what I'm saying, like how they put the shit in place for blacks from whites with the money. Remember, we talked about the NAACP and all these so-called colored people organizations who were supposed to be fighting for us, but were ran by white hands. And this is what we're talking about. These are the things that they put in place for us to so-called civilize us, child. This is where you get the civilized tribes from, child. See, instead of them understanding who these people were, they changed the dynamic of what we want them to be. It's the transition of the Negro. That's what he's talking about, basically. That's what happened. White folks with stolen big money took these dudes and took people who they decided who was going to do whatever is already in plan, basically. So one more word from Brother Steve Coker, and I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. We can roll out. Or Chav, if you had anything to last off, we can do that.
We're gonna do it because I wanted to talk about the RFK thing and the other shit I had brought up. I can bring that up.
Let's get it, cause P died in the casket, so we ain't even worrying about that. Let's go.
We could do it. We could do it. I could.
Attack someone you can't reach, but protect the one who is hidden by paying other people to misdirect. Attack someone you can't reach, but protect the one who is hidden by paying other people to misdirect the real attack system. See, we get confused about the attack. We don't know sometimes when you're being given something, you're being attacked. It might be that weakens your resistance to further attack.
Ooh,
it could be money.
You gotta listen.
In the church, attacks are usually led about rumor. In the church, a rumor is a powerful commodity, much more powerful than fact, because you've got a speculation science.
Ooh, Chop, you listening? Right now.
So in that arena, fact is not an argument. Rumor, speculation, the pastor sleeping with Billy Joe mama, can ruin a man instantaneously. In politics, it might be a different type of ingredient. But the knowledge of it is that every mode of leadership has a vein of attack. And so in the religious community, it may be innuendo and rumor.
See, now you see how the Freemasons and all these other organizations run this shit, child? They don't mind no fucking rumors. They want the word out. So they can hide other shit, child. Come on. You see what I'm saying? You heard what Round said? While we worry about this, when we worry about this, motherfuckers is giving you something. But you don't even understand. When you're giving something, that is a part of the plan to get your ass set up, dog. Why you think niggas on the street send niggas pussy and shit? A bitch come give you something right quick, the nigga get set up in the alley. If we gonna think about it in a simple way.
Oh, you send your rock kid down there to see what they got. You know, my bad.
There you know you just thinking. You just thinking. And that's what I do. I provoke thinking. No, Chop, I just provoke niggas. That's all. I got a habit of that. I'm trying to learn how to hone that power.
Send the Iraqi down there, man. Send the boy down there, see what's going on.
And that's I passed the baton around before we roll out of here.
Yeah, I ain't really
P-Dot, you all right?
We could close out if and I could bring my shit Sunday. Cause P-Dot
That's what's up, dog. Close us out, P-Dot. If you want me, you need some clear. You need the defibrillator.
Put some Vaseline on your nose.
We can't hear you on mute. That's how we know you asleep.
He inside. No, that's what he inside.
Yeah, for all the followers out there, man, join us again Sunday for the Sunday edition with the continuing coverage of fraternal organizations and their connections to the church. This week it'll be hosted by Chop Track, who's in the building. Yeah, like, subscribe, and share for tonight's episode. Tell somebody, spread the word to all our faithful listeners, BD504, Top Season. Thank y'all for joining in.
Shout out, brother.
All our new people that's gonna be joining in.
DD, ooh.
Put in the comments. So if you want to jump on the show, jump in the comments. Look at the link at the top of the screen, at the top of the comments. Copy that link, and you should be able to get pulled up on the show. You know, that way you can give us your intake on what's going on. Don't forget to create a username to protect your identity. You know, we do try to keep people's privacy private. Yeah,
We gotta find out. We gotta start getting them people to go to the Instagram and shit. We gotta find out who Grace and Peaches is.
Yeah, get some of this information and try to keep them updated too as well. That's a great point, John.
Right. Yeah, so as per the recent plane crashes and stuff like that, keep your eyes on the side, people. You know, don't be afraid to look up, you know, because this shit is getting weird out here, and all these plane crashes and shit like that is kind of fucked up the way they happen. So, you know, just keep your eyes on the side. Say your prayers for the families that's been affected by these plane crashes. And Tiffany Hayner, I hope they get your ass out of office as soon as possible, because that man was speaking his piece, and y'all had no right to assault that man like that, whether you like what he said or not. Keep your hands to yourself, because and I heard her say, yeah, that was my old man that put that black eye on you. Nah,
yeah, he called her a bitch. Yeah, Ron felt like he had to too. Yeah. That's the crazy part. Go ahead, Pete.
You know, but again, it's free speech. You can say what you want, but
no, it's not. Don't do that.
That's true. But you hear, man, Chop. It is true, but you know, you can't help how people gonna react to it at the same time. So.
Right.
It's free. It's free game too. Also, it's no holds barred.
In a town hall meeting where he was supposed to be protected, and he still was assaulted by her boyfriend and his entourage, and she let it be known that.
Know the facts. You play too much. You been here the whole time. You been here the whole time. Know the facts. You talking about good night.
Oh,
okay.
Because Peter back.
Okay.
He back in the spot. That's what
okay.
Yeah, look, he's smiling.
He back in the P-Dot back in the spot. I digress. She said good night, all the facts.
Because y'all get on my nerves. He laying right by. I'm laying right here next to him. He's making all that goddamn noise. It's not going to say. All right, Rest Bills.
That what she said.
All right, Rest Bills.
That what she said. Oh no, y'all play too much. I love it.
Tell somebody.
He ain't doing nothing. He up there asleep. He ain't doing nothing. He yawning. He tired. Go to sleep. Get your ass off the podcast.
Hallelujah.
cheering, you don't hear me. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah. Now, as you all may know, I am the Reverend Alice. And I just want to say to you today.
Chop, look at Paul in the casket. Look at Paul. Look at Peter. Look at Peter.
With the hat on and everything. Pull that picture
We gotta
back up.
stop hooting and hollering in them churches, okay? We gotta stop hooting and hollering.
Look, he's trying to be quiet and talk slow and shit. Sleepy talking ass.
Shout out. I'm go, man. Shout out,
He
fellas.
about to smoke him a
I'm
cigarette.
outta here.
Thinking like he tired. He about to smoke that cigarette.
Once again, y'all. Once again, this is Lunch Off Notes, and we are. Well, Chop Track finally made it in the building. I'm gonna see that again.
Look, I
Saw
talked
your
more than
teeth
you.
shine.
You wasn't even talking the whole show. I came in and talked more than you. I was tired.
Boy,
I had
gave
a long
up.
day, bro. I had a long day, bro. No diddy. Up with the kids. I woke him up.
It's all about right.
Boy, let me get the fuck up off of here. I ain't got time
See?
for the lies.
Let's go evidence.
Peter, girl. See, she was up with the kids. And look, she said,
It's
yes.
called
That means, yes, his ass came back.
He died on the spot. Exit in the building.
You sure lives. Who you telling? I already said that. Get your ass so filthy.
I seen that fucking pillow.
Solid
That
Child
was letting me know.
17.
That bitch
Smoked
that had
out
that
in the
pillow last
motherfucking
week.
session.
She got that pillow this week.
Yeah, I see the different pillow. That funeral pillow. I see it like when they hold a dead body head, especially when they got their head glued
Put
on.
you back inside. That was all right. My bad, P. Dot. See, I'm
Oh
out the spot.
no, he got mad and left. Look, he act like he hears and shit.
No, yeah.
This is
everybody
on
hear that
record, P. Dot. P. Dot, the big
fuck
smoke.
outta
This is on record.
It's all
Shout
right.
out to the people who came into the
Supposed to
building.
go-
You know how we
supposed to-
rock,
I'm
bro.
glad, y'all.
We
I wish
family.
I was in front, so I could play the claps for y'all.
He know we gonna get on his ass.
Happy
We
family. Back to yes. That's what's up.
Family.
Goddamn succubus. All right. Chop Tracks, I'm out.
Let's get it. See y'all Sunday.
Well, I'm not supposed to be ending the stream. I'm supposed to be leaving, huh? Peter was supposed to do that, but he didn't.
Exactly. He act like he ain't hear nothing. So we out.
Somebody
y'all.
gonna press
Fuck
the
it.
end button.
See y'all
All right.
Sunday, bro.
All right.
Let's get it.